quick video now showing how to create your 940 and your 941 for your payroll project. And I don't have the unemployment, but I'll just kind of verbally explain that because you do have to do it for your projects. So again, I have my sample Excel document open, and the payroll register totals. So again, yours is bigger because obviously you have more employees, but it should be set up the same way. So when you come down to the bottom and you have your quarter to date numbers, you guys also have a year to date number. I just have the quarter to dates on this sample. So when you come down to the quarter to date numbers, you're going to use those to create that 941 form. So if I go back to the 941 form and I open that up, you can see it, you got to fill in your employer ID, check that it's the fourth quarter, put in their address, and then how many employees they have. So again, my sample project only have 3. You're going to have more than that, so count your employees and put that there. Then these boxes are going to come directly from the spreadsheet. So $79,450 is my gross wages. So if I go back there, that's what is in this column here. And if I were to go up to the top, that is my total earnings. So that goes into that first box. Okay, then we come back to it. And then it says, okay, well, what are your taxable Social Security wages? Oh, here, sorry. What is your federal income tax withheld? So then you go to that column. So this is my federal income tax withheld, and you put that number in there. Whoops, don't want that. Then come back to the 941 form, and then what's your taxable Social Security? So again, back to that payroll register. Our taxable Social Security number is this value right here, the $58,350. And then you multiply that out, and then that should tie out to double what you show here. So if we have our old age tax, it should be twice that amount because the employees pay it and then the employer matches it. And then this is the employer's report. So he's going to report for both of those. Then we go down to the taxable Medicare wages. And again, those are the total gross wages because everything is subject to Medicare. Do the math of that. And again, it should be twice what you show on your Excel spreadsheet. Then you add up your total Social Security tax. So the old age survivor tax plus the Medicare tax. Then if you have any fraction of cents adjustments, then you add your total. So your total is going to be your total Social Security tax plus your federal unemployment tax. So this number in box 3 plus box 5 equals that total. Then when you come over, it'll say what was your total deposit. So you assume we deposited everything that we owed, and then you break it out by month. So then that you'd have to go back to your Excel and go month by month to say, okay, well, what was my liability for October? What was it for November? What was it for December? So there's no total that does that for you. You'll have to do that manually with your calculator. Okay, then that is your 941 form. And then you just pretend to sign it as whoever you want to sign it for. So I don't really care about that. Okay, then if we come back to our 940, so our 940 is annual numbers though. So it is our federal unemployment for the entire year. So we again fill in the company information with their tax ID and address. We state what state we are paying unemployment tax on, that we get that extra, so that we only have to pay the 0.6%. Then our total payments to all employees. So again, going back to, now I'm going to flip over here though, because you guys have the year-to-date total on yours. I did not. So I did a little subtotal here of my 3 employees to get my year-to-date total. So the $174,570 goes into, this is my total wages. Then it asks, well, what are the total payments made to each employee in excess of $7,000? So you have, if you maintained, but not everybody did. So If you maintained your FUTA and SUTA columns, you could use that. If you didn't, that's fine. Just logic through it. Every employee who has year-to-date wages or a W-2 of more than $7,000, you're just going to include each one of those at $7,000. So if you look at my formula, I have 2 employees at $7,000 plus this one employee only at $800. So all of his wages are subject to federal unemployment tax. So then I've subtracted those out. So then these are my gross wages that are not subject to federal unemployment tax. And then so then that's what is subject. So again, that's the difference between them. That's the amount that is subject. You're going to multiply that times your 0.006, and that gives you your FUTA liability. And again, we assume that we've paid that throughout the year, and that's all paid up. And then just sign it. We don't have the data to fill in the quarter information for that FUTA. Okay. Now then, I did not take the time to do the state unemployment because it is kind of it's a lot of detail to that. I'll show you what you guys need to do though for your submission. So if we go down into the SUTA, you will see there's 2 filings. So this one is the detail. So this, you want to list every single employee, their social security number, first initial, middle initial, last name, and their gross wages paid for the quarter. And then how many weeks that is. So it probably tells you in the book, but I mean, I'm not even going to be that picky on that. If it's for 3 months and there's 4 weeks in a month, you can put in 12 if they worked the entire quarter. If they only worked for 1 paycheck, then it would just be 2. If they worked for 2 paychecks, it'd be 4. So just kind of, guess those. I'm not gonna be real concerned about that. And then you list all those wages out and you come up with the total down at the bottom. And then again, fill in your employer information up here at the top. Then if we go back to the top, then there's just a summary page. But that summary page is also just for the quarter. So our summary filing it gives you, again, you fill in your information and then you list it out to say, okay, what are the gross wages? What did the employees contribute during the quarter? Because again, going back to our sheet, they did have SUTA taxes withheld. So that SUTA column, you'd go down here and say, okay, well, the employees themselves paid $47.67 for the quarter. So that would go into that box. Then what taxable wages? So it's the first 10,000 of wages paid. So again, for my example, I would have the 2 employees that are over 10,000. So that would be 20,000 plus $800 for my employee who only worked for 2 weeks. And then you multiply that by the contribution rate, which I believe is 3.689% for this project. Double check that though, because I could be off a little bit. And then you calculate your total contribution, and then you're going to assume that it's all going to be paid and there's no interest and there's no penalty. Oh yeah, there's the 3.689. So then that's how you fill out that report. And then your final report is just your state. And your state is going to be very comparable to your W-3, except for it's just focused on how much state taxes were paid. So it too is just a summary to say, okay, how many W-2s did I have? What compensation? What was my total state compensation for the year? Though now we're back to the year, and then how much state taxes were withheld. So if I come over to my year totals, again, the 174,570 is my total, and then my state is the $4,478.25. So then you just put that in there. So again, you can see how important these 2 tabs are because that's where you pick everything off. And then, like all tax forms, they're just tedious. You just got to read each line and know where you're putting your information.